5 transformation show seeks to showcase opportunities within the agricultural sector and the key sectors within the economy. Furthermore, it will highlight the lack of transformation South Africa has not achieved with the democracy approaching 3 decades. The program seeks to assist SMMEs to gain insight and understanding in regards to the challenges they face and how they can source funding, mentorship, and other forms of business assistance from key role players in the sector. Today in studio, we're joined by Janine Ryan. Janine, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Kindly tell the viewers who you are and your role at Farmers Weekly.
Okay, thank you, Solo, for having me. So as you said, my name is Janine Ryan. I am currently the editor of Farmers Weekly magazine, which is South Africa's oldest magazine, and also the leading English agricultural magazine in the country. I started off at Farmers Weekly with sort of informal background in farming. My grandfather had an ostrich farm in Oudtshoorn. So I didn't have any training in farming, but I started as a copy editor because I have a boring qualification in English literature. And then became managing editor and then eventually became editor.
Lovely. So, Farmers Weekly has been around for the last 113 years. That's a fantastic achievement. Please share with the viewers how the brand has managed to adjust over the years and remain relevant and strong.
Okay, yeah, it's a long history. So we started in 1911, so yeah, that's 113 years this year. When the magazine started, we started with the mandate to serve agriculture. So despite the fact that we've been around for over a century, that's still our mandate. We still seek to serve agriculture. However, obviously, as you know, the agricultural landscape has changed significantly over the past 100 years.
Yeah.
So we've had to adapt in order to remain relevant to agriculture in South Africa, which I think probably for the past, let's say, 30 years or so has included trying to serve the emerging farming sector, which obviously wasn't much of before the end of apartheid.
Correct.
And in terms of Caxton, which is the holding company, it's also gone through a lot of change over many, many decades. I think it was in probably 2020 when the magazines division closed down, so it was around the COVID hard lockdown. But our bosses decided that Farmers Weekly was still important enough for the agriculture sector and for the magazine sector generally to keep. So this is the one magazine that they kept. And we continue to carry on strong, essentially.
Fantastic. Please tell us about Farmers Weekly, more specifically in terms of who do you cater for and what type of content do you disseminate?
Okay, so we cater for the agriculture sector as a whole, so that includes commercial farmers, medium farmers, which sort of usually considered the missing middle, so to speak.
Sure.
And then the emerging farmers as well. And we do that through disseminating information either online or through our print publication about how to farm, for example. So if we're looking at the emerging sector, we do a lot of articles on the basics of farming, trying to teach people who may be interested in farming, who may have a couple of chickens in their backyard or whatever, on how to grow into a commercial farmer. And then for the commercial sector, we do more sort of, let's say, call them production stories, where we look at how very successful farmers go about keeping their success. Of course, that's also valuable to emerging farmers, but for that sector specifically, we try and do more back to basics kind of farming stuff.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. So, Farmers Weekly is a media partner currently to the Agri 5 Expo. Perhaps tell us why is this partnership between Farmers Weekly and Agri 5 Expo is important to the sector?
So I think because of our influence in the sector, everybody knows Farmers Weekly by now. We're very popular amongst farmers, particularly new farmers, because we are an English magazine. So we speak to those farmers. So I think it's an important milestone actually for Farmers Weekly to be involved in something like this. So in the past, we've always disseminated information through, like I said, our publication or online, but we've never been that actively sort of physically involved in trying to boost new and emerging farmers.
Yeah.
So being involved with Agri5 gives us an opportunity to do that, to get into real contact with emerging farmers.
Yeah.
And to see where we can help and to promote this kind of event so that people know that it's there and they can go out and they can attend and they can get as much from it as they can.
Thank you. Then if anyone wants to get in contact with Farmers Weekly, wants to read up on your content and offerings, how do they get a hold of Farmers Weekly?
So you can go online, visit our website, which is farmersweekly.co.za. We're very active on social media as well. I think our handle across our social media platforms, which includes X, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, is at Farmers Weekly SA. So the SA is important because there's another Farmers Weekly, so it must be Farmers Weekly SA. Yeah. Or you can email us at farmersweekly@caxton.co.za. Caxton is spelled CAXTON. Or you can DM us on our social media platforms. Of course, you can also buy the magazine, and you'll find the contact details of the editorial team in there. So if anyone wants to email me specifically, for example, then the contact details are there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.